Hello, 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 y'all, and welcome to another story time brought to you by ABC Read and ABC Learn, in which we are here to help you develop and nurture that love of reading in every child as well as every adult. How are you all doing out there? Today, evening, real late at night, real early in the morning, middle of the afternoon, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are across the globe. I hope that you all are doing absolutely marvelous. And I hope that you all have read or you're planning to read for at least 30 minutes, y'all. That's what's up. Well, you know how I do. Before we get started, I would like to remind you guys again, once again, why I stress so much about developing that literacy early in your children. I mean, research has already shown that mothers who are pregnant should be reading to their children while they are still in their wombs, in their bellies, all right? Because the babies can hear what is going on outside. Okay, so that's why it is so important to read to the child. That's why it's so important even to sing to the child. That's right, when that child is in the belly, because that is how reading begins. Reading starts off with language, what that child is hearing. All right, so it doesn't start off obviously with you trying to put a book or some letters and say this letter, say that letter. You're like, huh? Like, no, it doesn't start off that way. It starts off by them hearing, listening to what is going on. That's why it's important to be able to, as much as possible, even when that child, after that child is born, and it's okay to, do the little baby talking, and then you're doing, it's okay to do that in the beginning, but you want to make sure that you are starting to say words in the correct way, all right? So that they can begin to hear those words said properly, all right? Because that is going to help them with their language skills, all right? Because that is, that's the foundation of reading. And why are these things so important? Because pre-K through third grade, a child is learning to read. But after third grade, that child is reading to learn. So what does that mean? They first have to know how to say the words. They have to know how to read the sentences and say everything correctly. Then they're able to get the information and find out, okay, now what is it that I just read? What does that mean? What does that paragraph mean? What were they saying in that book? What was the author's purpose for writing the story? So that is where the reading to learn. What is that information that I'm trying to get from this particular passage or text? Okay, so these are things. Remember, text, not the text like on the phone when it says refer to the text, right? Text meaning what? The passage, what was written, what you just read, all right? So these things only can happen if that child knows how to read first. Then they start getting the information, reading to learn. Got it? Capiche? Caposh. You got it. All right, y'all. So now I'm about to read chapter 4 of Nikki and Deja by Karen English, y'all. Illustrated by Laura Freeman. All right. And again, for those of you, if this is your first time listening to I'll Read Aloud on ABC Read, ABC Learn, I just want to give my business again a quick shout out. ABC Learn, I am a pre-K through third grade reading tutor. And I tutor in person. And yes, I do tutor online. So for those of you who need me, say in Africa, France, holla at your girl. All right. So, but the book I've been reading, again, Nikki and Deja, and they are besties. All right. And besties, that's that new talk. When I was coming up, we didn't call each other besties. All right. That was my girl. All right. My friend, my best friend, not besties, but that's cool. That's mama being hip. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say besties. All right. So they're best friends. And they are just like inseparable, basically, meaning that, oh my goodness, they cannot be separated. They want to be together all the time. I remember that. It takes me back to my old girl, Tara. Oh my goodness, we were just like together all the time. I used to spend night over her house all the time too. But anyway, see, little connection there. See, brought me back to my old childhood friend. But so they're like, dealing with some different things. They in the first chapter, Nikki was saying she could do Deja's hair. Deja looking at her like, no, you can't. You cannot do hair. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness. And so Nikki was like, yes, I can. I can do your hair. And basically she kind of messed up her hair. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't matter. Again, they were still friends in the end. Then a new girl moved on the block. And so they were trying to look her way, get eye contact. The girl look, I guess, did her little glance and looked and like rolled her eyes. And so they were like, oh no. So they were salty, upset about that, so they said, oh no, we're gonna have us our own little thing, and she's not gonna be invited. I ain't thinking about her. Then they get to the next chapter where they saw their teacher in the store, all right, Miss Shelby. So they're like, oh my gosh, my teacher is human like us. She shops, she gets food, she eats. Are you serious? She buys shampoo, she washes her hair. So, and I wasn't really feeling that they were all up in her cart. I'm like, excuse me, little girls, y'all need to go ahead and mind your business. But anyway, so that's where we at now. So now we moved up to chapter 4. All right. So the setting, they are in school, and I'm about to begin reading. Chapter 4, Stupid Antonia. On Monday morning before journal writing, right while Miss Shelby, who probably brushed her teeth that morning with her new toothbrush, is busy with attendance, Mr. Brown, the principal, walks in. Their new neighbor is right behind him. She stands by the door and looks over the class with what Nikki decides is clearly a sneer. Room 10, today you're getting a new student, Mr. Brown smiles. This is Antonia. Antonia doesn't smile. The class stares. Antonia is carrying a see-through backpack and a red plaid lunch bag. Hi, Antonia, everyone finally says together. Hi, she says very, very quietly. You may find a seat, Antonia, Miss Shelby says. Mr. Brown leaves, and Antonia chooses the empty seat next to Deja, even though there's a perfectly good seat next to Ralph. Carefully, she unpacks her backpack. Miss Shelby hasn't assigned her a cubby yet. She takes out a pink plastic pencil case and opens it. Nikki sees sharpened pencils and a new pink eraser and a small stapler and a ruler. Then Antonia turns her pencil box toward Deja so that she can see inside. Deja looks surprised, as if she doesn't know what to think. She thinks she's so cute, Nikki hears Ayanna whisper nearby. Miss Shelby steps away from the board, revealing that morning's journal topic. My favorite day of the week. Here, Antonia, she says, handing her a brand new cream-colored notebook. This is what you'll use for your journal. All heads bend toward their blank pages. Some of the children begin writing right away. A few take time to stare into space. Others hope to avoid beginning their work by finding something else to do. Nikki dives right in. She notices Antonia does too. When Nikki looks up, she sees Deja drawing rainbows in her journal. Nikki knows drawing helps Deja think. Even though Miss Shelby, who eats low-fat yogurt, might look over her shoulder on her slow circuit around the class and announce, someone isn't following directions. When the recess bell rings, Miss Shelby says, pass your journals up and then show me you're ready to go outside. Antonia turns in her journal, then folds her hands and looks straight ahead. Some kids in the class seem not to have heard Miss Shelby. There are one or two talkers who are spoiling it for their entire rows, including Nikki's. Row 3, you look like you're ready. Please line up. In fact, you may go out now. Miss Shelby makes a show of looking at the other rows. Miss Shelby never has to yell. She just waits. Deja is in row 3. So is Antonia. She takes a red and blue striped jump rope out of her see-through backpack. It has musical handles that jingle like bells. Deja and Antonia go outside with their rope. Nikki watches the door close behind them, then sits up extra straight. Finally, her row is called. Once outside, she stops in her tracks. Deja is jumping rope with Antonia. Nikki, come jump with us, Deja cries. As soon as Nikki reaches them, Antonia shoves the ends of the rope into Nikki and Deja's hands. I go first, she says. Nikki and Deja turn while Antonia jumps and jumps and jumps. Nikki's arm grows tired, and so does Deja's. Finally, Antonia must grow tired too because she jumps on the rope. You're out, Deja cries. I'm in. No, I'm not. Antonia looks at Nikki. You pulled the rope. I did not. You did too. I get to jump again. Nikki and Deja turn the rope again and turn and turn and turn until Antonia jumps on it again. Out, Deja says. I am not. You can't turn right. She stops to catch her breath. I go again. I'm not turning anymore. Then you can't play with my jump rope. So, Deja says, frowning. Antonia yanks the tinkly handle away from Deja. Deja looks down at her empty hand. Antonia yanks the other handle away from Nikki. Nikki shrugs. She feels good shrugging. I don't even want to play with your stupid rope. She looks at Deja to see if Deja feels the same way. Me neither, Deja says. I don't want to jump with your dumb rope. She slips her hand in Nikki's. Come on, Nikki. Let's go play four square before the bell rings. Fine then, Antonia calls after them. I was going to let you come over after school and jump on my trampoline, but now I've changed my mind. Nikki feels Deja hesitate just a little bit. She tugs on Deja's arm. Who cares? Deja yells back without turning around. I don't even want to jump on your stupid trampoline. Nikki is filled with satisfaction. She knows Deja would love to jump on that trampoline. But Deja is back to being Nikki's one and only best friend and no one else's. Nikki, Deja says, we need to start our club. What kind of club? I don't know yet, Deja says, but we need a club and we need to keep stupid Antonia out of it. That sounds like a good idea to Nikki. Thinking about their future club, they walk around the schoolyard arm in arm until the freeze bell rings. Then all the kids on the playground stop in place while the ball monitors walk around collecting balls and ropes and hula hoops. Soon the second bell rings, and everyone makes a mad dash for their lines. Nikki and Deja look around to see if Mrs. Miller's and Mr. Beaumont's third grade classes are completely and quietly in their lines. Mr. Brown has promised a pizza party for the class from each grade level that's first to get in line completely and quietly the most times in 1 month. Mr. Beaumont's class is winning so far, with 10 days to go. But today they see that Robert Foster from Mrs. Miller's class is still at the water fountain, and Anna Martinez from Mr. Beaumont's class is just coming out of the bathroom. Mr. Brown from his place in front of the lineup area looks over at Miss Shelby and gives her a thumbs up. The kids from room 10 smile, but they know not to hoop and holler with glee. They know to remain quiet and orderly all the way to the classroom. All right, you guys. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, of course, in that chapter, I'm pretty sure a lot of you were making connections because a lot of schools have started across the country, right? So you guys can relate to recess and lining up and teachers promising pizza parties if you do this, and kids are arguing and playing, and sometimes it be a little tug of war, a little fighting sometimes, all types of stuff is happening at schools right now across the country. So I know a lot of you can relate to that. But that whole situation with Nikki and Deja and Antonia, oh my goodness, I really, really hope that they get that straightened out. Really, I do. And you guys let me know what you think about what do you think is going to happen in chapter 5 of this book. Let me know in the comments section below, all right? It's good to sometimes have predictions, right? To think about what you may think is going to happen based off of what was just read. All right, you guys, well, that's it. And I hope you all remember to please like, subscribe, and share. All right. Please like, subscribe, and share these videos. All right. And remember to please, please keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. Peace, my reading revolutionaries.